Alright, hey, HadesOmega here. We're still in Virginia City. I'm charging my Light B up before we head out on the road to about like 50% or something. Just so it's not empty, okay? So this is the after action review for the Virginia City Grand Prix, alright? I'm here in the courthouse parking lot charging my RAV4 in the store, alright? So what was supposed to happen? We were supposed to race the Virginia City Grand Prix. What really happened? HadesOmega raced in the electric class for the Virginia City Grand Prix 2022, and I got a finisher pin. All right, I did it. All right, I that was my goal accomplished. All right, I had two goals. One was to get the finisher pin. All right, and then two was to beat Ted. All right, but I didn't beat Ted. Ted is a freaking beast, man. I'm telling you. He's just a little old guy riding a cake caulk, and yeah, he's no joke, man. He's pretty awesome. That's all I'm gonna say. Many times, me and Ted switched places. I'll tell you that, man. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what the plan was. The plan was to race the Virginia City Grand Prix. We were supposed to swap the battery every lap. All right, every lap. And I had a much better pit setup than last time, much more elaborate. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, so I had a generator in the pits, and what we were supposed to do was we were supposed to do one lap, all right, pull the battery out, charge the put the battery on the charger, and then we were supposed to grab the second battery, put it in, and then do another lap, come back, switch the battery again, take that first battery off the charger, and then try to finish a third lap, all right, and get your finisher pin. Well, we got the finisher pin, but it was not without like problems. Is what I say, all right. It didn't turn out the way HadesOmega planned it, all right. Is what I say. So this is that's the AR process. What was supposed to happen? What really happened? What really happened? Okay. So first lap comes along, and it was nasty, dude. That course was nasty, and the red loop really wasn't that much different than the full course. Was I'm gonna say. Last year we had 3 intersections that go to the red loop. This year we only had 1. All right, 1. We only had to. They only told us, hey, red loop that time. So we only got 1 shortcut. All right. So what does that mean? We had a longer race. All right. So I did not account for that. I thought it was gonna be, within 15 miles. All right. So. When I got back from the first lap, it was it's almost 16 miles. Pretty much, if you round it up, it would be 16 miles is what I'm gonna say. All right. So not so good. All right. HadesOmega knows this can go 20 miles. So you blow through a good chunk of the battery, and I shit you not, going up that hill. That steep hill on the way to the finish, man, it was so fun to just go wide open throttle and just fly up that thing. There we go, wide open up the hill. Alright. Well, the battery started cutting out at the top.
Alright, finish this lap strong. We're going to make a left. We're going to drag race this guy. That's what we're going to do. Oh, he got me! We're going about 42, 44, 46. The battery cut out! The battery cut out! Oh shit!
Alright, so that just tells you how low a state of charge you were at. Okay, it can't maintain its performance at the top, right? So pretty consistently, the first and second battery, when I got back to the finish line, it was like was at 40%. All right, roughly 40%. And then, so when I put the third battery in and I was charging it, I had that charger cranked up all the way to 12 amps, all right? And it didn't care, all right? Because it's nice and cold out here, so it's there, all right? Probably the cold played a part in the reduced range. Yeah, it should go a little farther than that. So, well, for 40%, man, 40% is like about like 4 or 5 miles, all right? So 4 or 5 miles, and 16, yeah, that's about 20 miles. So that's about right. So the range was proper, okay? The range was right. It was 20 miles of battery. So is what I'm gonna say. Because on the third lap, HadesOmega ran out of charge. That's what happened, all right? So you'd figure if you had about 3/4 of a charge, you'd be good, right? Well, when I put that battery in, it had 70% charge, all right? And you could bet that third lap, I was milking it as much as I could. I was trying to take it easy, roll down the hills, do the usual hypermiling stuff, okay? It's very frustrating when you're racing and you can't ride the bike how you want to ride it, you know? I can't ride it fast if I wanted to, you know? I'm not gonna lie, HadesOmega did take it easy a lot of times, all right? Because, yeah, so I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, we did run out of power in the third lap. I'll talk about that when we get there. So what happened on the first lap, man, it was just carnage, just like last year. So there was what happened was we got stuck in a really steep downhill. There was a bunch of riders stuck on, and it was a really steep downhill, super steep. And if you're following someone down a steep downhill, it sucks, all right? I went down it and I crashed. So yeah, at the start, I was following Ted. I was managed to hang with Ted the whole time, going down the hill, and then Ted blows the corner, and I passed him for a while.
Oh, slippery! Oh, Ted blew through that tape.
Like, I didn't see Ted for maybe like, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something. And yeah, and then we get to this downhill, and I crash, man. I go over to handlebars.
So many bikes. Oh shit! Oh, yeah. Oh, my handlebar bent. Oh shit.
The theme of the whole day was like the traction, man. Traction was a big issue. I wasn't getting any traction. It was so slick and slippery, and it was the same for everybody else. I was watching everybody else. Their bikes would go all over the place. You hit a rock, you know, the bike would just bend out of shape, and then, you know, it would try to throw you off. I didn't feel confident in the traction at all right? So last time when we raced, it was raining, right? Everything was like wet, so the traction was actually better when it was like wet and muddy and stuff, is what I want to say, okay? Unless you got to that silty stuff, yeah, you don't want to mess around with that when it's wet. That's for sure. Okay, but yeah, so the first lap I had the most crashes. I must have, even in like a section that wasn't that difficult, I would like kind of hit a rock and like it would get bent out of shape. That's the first time I crashed it with the Dorado fork, and yeah, you can bend the handlebar back and stuff. I had some pretty bad crashes, so check that video out, okay?
I went over the bars. I braked at the wrong time. Yeah, good. Great. Douglas passed me. I went over. I'm good. Yeah, I just need to straighten the bars out.
guys doing the full 24?
It doesn't stop. Shit. I keep on doing that. You gotta turn the bike off.
But yeah, I did manage to finish the first lap, and then I did the second lap. We switched the batteries. All right, I ran out of power at the top of the hill, but yeah, we were 40% when we pitted the first lap. So we swapped the batteries. I took a water break, you know. I don't think I drank enough water. In fact, I should probably drink some water right now. And then so we went back out for the second lap. I think the one lap was roughly an hour. We came in just under an hour is what I want to say, all right? We swapped the battery, went back out, and then I went and did the second lap. The second lap was actually easier because there was less, there wasn't any bottlenecks, all right? There wasn't any riders like posted up all over the place trying to get over hard obstacles. But there wasn't as much passing. I passed the most people on the first lap. You'd be surprised how much people I passed, man.
Oh, Ted blew through that. Holy. What, you guys don't want to go up the rocks? Are you guys afraid of the rocks? You guys are afraid of the rocks? These guys on the vintage bikes, man. Straight up cowboys. Man, it's slippery. Work the region. Yeah, getting kicked around with the rocks.
And then, yeah, on the second and third laps, the fast riders were just passing me all the time. I didn't really see much of the red loop riders. That's a good question. What happened to them? So the race is like 3 hours, man. And well, I'll talk about. Hold on. So the second lap, I did a lot better on the second lap, but I was super freaking tired. I had to stop and take a break, and I was getting cramps in my legs and my calves and everything. I'm getting arm pump and everything. It's not good, man. HadesOmega is not having a good time. And then we make it back for the third lap, okay? And the battery almost cuts out at the top too.
Oh! The battery cut out.
And it pretty much has 40% charge. So I turned the generator off because I didn't think I need it, because we're gonna do one more lap, right? Well, it turns out, like, man, you could really only do 3 laps here because it's an hour a lap. So I go out for the third lap and we got 70% charge. I'm like, that might be good enough. That's a lot. We still got, it's like we blew through 30%, right? HadesOmega, wrong. All right, so. I'm hurting pretty bad, and I'm trying to hypermile it as much as possible. I'm trying to take it easy. Those downhills, they just beat you up, man. Like, I'm trying to slow the bike down, and then the handlebars getting all messed up, and like the suspension, it didn't really save me this time, man. I don't know. I just wanted to keep on making the suspension softer and softer. I kept on adjusting the compression down more and more. I think I went down 3 clicks already, and yeah, I still wasn't happy with it. That's what I say. All right. But yeah, third lap rolls around, so I managed to get like 3/4 of the way. I think about a quarter. I had to swap on the end of the second lap. I had to switch cameras. My camera ran out of juice, so I make it back to town, and I get through the whole pit thing, and I'm out on the third lap, and about a quarter of the way through the third lap, something happened to the camera. The camera didn't want to work anymore, man. Like, I guess there was a problem with the memory card or something. Maybe I gotta get a new memory card for it or something. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, so 3/4 of the way through the third lap, like, we were almost done. We had we had like 4 miles left to go, guys. 4 miles. All right, we were pretty much at the intersection for the red loop, and I ran out of power. It sucked, man. I ran out of power on the hill. The sweep kind of I was like, hey, you gonna be okay? I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna push it up the hill, you know. So I did that. I pushed it up the hill. It took me like about half an hour, maybe more, to get it up the hill. And there was a dude up there with a side-by-side, and he was directing traffic. He was telling people to go to the red loop, go through the black loop, right? So I would always go on the red loop. Well, I make it to him, and he's able to contact his buddy here, because he's got phone signal, to grab my battery in the pits. All right, I told him like, hey, this is where my pit is. There's a battery. There's a battery in there, and it's got some charge in it. I told him where to find it, and he brought it to me. Like, I was probably there for like an hour, maybe. That's what it seemed like, until he came back and he got the battery. The race had already ended. It ends after 3 hours. I think I was out there for 5 hours by the time I made it back to town. So I swapped the battery. I give the other battery to the guy with the side-by-side, and he brings it. He's gonna come back to the pits and bring it back to me. I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky that I finished. All right, I finished just like by the skin of my teeth, you know. Like if I didn't have those guys' help, there's no way I would be able to push it like freaking 4 miles up and down hills and stuff. So it was bad, man. So I swapped the battery. I got 40% charge. I was like, man, I hope I'm gonna make it back. I hope 40% will make it. so I gotta tell myself, hey, you gotta take it easy, man. You still got a hypermile. You only got 40%. So I'm riding along. I'm taking it really easy. I'm going pretty slow, and then we get back to town, and then I can feel the bike starting to cut out. It's really low power already, and then so there's that one turn. You go up the hill, and then up to the finish line, and I'm trying to go up it, and I'm like twisted at like a quarter of a twist turn, right, to save power, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it up this hill. I'm going up the hill, and it's running out of power. Like, oh my god, this hill is steep too, guys. And by the time I get to the finish line, it almost ran out of power, dude. It was cutting out at the finish line. I almost had to push it through the finish line, but I made it. Oh, it was such an awesome occasion. So I didn't get it on video, but this is what happened, man. I went through the transponder. The dude with the checkered flags, he's just waving them all over the place. I'm like, fuck yeah, I did it. I finished. And then they gave me the finisher pin. They stuffed it in my glove. And then I went up, and they interviewed me, and there's a little trailer that you can ride up, and then they're like, oh, electric bikes and this and that. I don't quite remember what I said, man. It's just all kind of a blur to me. All right. Okay. So that's it. Yeah, we got it. We finished it up, and I came back and I cleaned up. I had to clean up the pits. I checked my GPS. It said it was 5 hours. We rode almost 50 miles. Like, yeah, just under 50 miles. It's nuts, man. So each lap was 16 miles. So we should have ended with 48 miles. We ended with 47, a little more than 47, almost 48 is what I want to say. And then yeah, so we made it. We made it with 48 miles. We finished 3 laps, just barely. Like, there was, I don't know, there might have been 1 or 2 riders that came in after me. They must have had like a lot of problems, man. But yeah, it was freaking awesome, man. But yeah, I got it. I got the finisher pin, all right, and I finished the race. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure what I got. I think Ted is first place again. All right, good job, Ted, man. Hats off to you, man. You're a freaking awesome racer, man. That cake is freaking awesome, man. I wish I had one. But anyway, I know how good those cakes are. And then I was racing against Douglas in the Honda, the converted Honda. And me and him, we passed a bunch of times too. I think he came in second. He was there loading up by the time I crossed the finish line, so I'm pretty sure he came in second. He said he finished 3 laps. I don't think he finished 3 laps last time, so I think I came in 3rd place. All right, so I think I'll definitely get a trophy, and I finished it. I did the full 3 laps. I got the finisher pin. What can I say? What more can I ask for, man? the only thing that would have made it better is if I beat Ted, but yeah, there was no way that was happening. Yeah. But we were all kind of sketchy whether we were going to make it back or not. There was another girl that was riding on a Suron, and I saw the Suron, like, it was like at one of the kind of rest areas, or like checkpoints, and it was just sitting there. I was like, hey, what happened to it? And they told me, it don't run no more. I don't want to run anymore. I'm like, oh no, what happened? I can only think maybe either she ran out of power or the belt broke, okay? But I didn't get her name, sorry. I think they were from Reno, okay? Her husband or boyfriend also had a Suron, all right, but when he wasn't racing, it was the woman that was racing, okay? So hats off to her, okay? Also, congratulations, you are the first woman, you're the first female electric rider to compete in Virginia City Grand Prix, all right? Yeah, so it, you know, even though I don't think she finished the race, give her a pat on the back for that, man. It's pretty awesome. So we went over what was supposed to happen and what really happened. Now we're gonna go over things we could improve or sustain, all right? So what can we do to improve? I don't know, man. Like, make the course easier. So I'm not gonna lie, last year's course was much easier than this year's course, all right? And it was shorter. So now I almost finished 2 laps on 1 battery, and like, it was raining and pouring rain and everything. The conditions were horrible, and the bike wasn't running right, and I almost managed to finish 2 laps on 1 battery, okay? Could I finish 2 laps on 1 battery this time? No, I don't think so, man. No way. We probably would have got maybe a quarter of the way through, all right? There was a lot of kind of downhills and stuff that I kind of let it roll down, and I tried to use the regen as much as I could to recharge the battery, you know. The first lap I was trying to ride real conservative, and the third lap I was trying, so I think the second lap was probably the fastest. We'll find out when I check the times online, okay? What else was happening? But yeah, I took the first and third lap because conservatively is what I'm gonna say, all right? Because I knew it was kind of sketchy whether that battery would be able to do 2 laps if I charged it, you know. But yeah, so but I made it back with like four battery swaps, okay? So what can we do to improve next time? Really, we gotta have a battery each lap, man. You gotta swap the battery every lap. Swapping it and then charging the one that you use, it's not good enough, man. We were able to get like 30% state of charge. We needed, I think we needed at least, we needed like another 100, all right? But it's dependent on the course, is what I'm gonna say. Like, that course it was long, dude. It was long and it was tough. And so those uphills, you really needed to use a lot of power to get up it. So that's what kind of killed the battery. And I knew it. I was looking at the state of charge. I'm like, oh, it says 15%. It's blinking. It doesn't look happy, man. so yeah, it was all bad. That's what I want to say. Yeah, really, the only way we would have finished this race without that problem we had, we had to get the other battery rushed to us from the pits, is to bring 3 batteries. So I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know if we're gonna race this next year if I don't have 3 batteries, because I don't really want to drop the coin for 3 batteries. I don't really need 3 batteries, man. 2 is like the most that I want, you know. Is what I want to say. And it's a pain in the ass to carry those batteries around, man. They take up a lot of space. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe, hopefully next year will be shorter. I will see if I can get some kind of info on how long the red loop course is gonna be. Because if it was like the first year, no problem. We could have done what we did and it would have been fine. So did that plan that I made to charge the battery with the generator between like laps and stuff work? No, it didn't. It was a fail. Okay, so what could we do to improve next time? Well, one thing that I could have done is if I had thrown the smaller battery onto the charger, we could have ripped it back to town, and we might have done a little better. But we waited so long, and I had to push the bike, and yeah, it was just not good, man. It was horrible. So what am I gonna say? Yeah, what can we do next to do better next time? We gotta have 3 batteries, man. I wish I could just like rent a battery from somebody. If anyone has a 72-volt battery, all right, that they want to lend me, you know, a light speed, whatever, any kind of 72-volt battery that works on a Suron, All right, that's for a Sauron. Please let me know. Like that fits in my Sauron also. I have like the regular battery pack and a slightly bigger battery pack. All right, I don't have those monster battery packs. Would one of those monster huge battery packs have worked in this race? You know what? Maybe. It might have been able to do what we're gonna do. Maybe, but I think it would have been better to have. The best thing is to just have 3 batteries and change it every lap. As long as the course is less than 20 miles, we can do one lap with 1 battery, okay? But last year it was almost half that, so I almost got 2 laps with 1 battery. So yeah, it's just, but we had to work with the rain last time. That was pretty bad. I don't want to race in the rain. So this year HadesOmega, so yeah, one of the things that HadesOmega did good was I didn't register online. I didn't register online for the race for a while. I was checking the weather every week. I'll say, oh yeah, well sure enough it was supposed to rain Saturday night, but it didn't. At least I didn't think it would. If it did, I didn't see it. It was probably while I was sleeping, type of thing. But it was freezing in the morning. It was really cold. I saw some like little bits of snow coming down. Yeah, dude. But yeah, I gotta have 3 batteries. That's the only way I can finish this race, thing. Even with the bigger battery, I don't think we could put a big enough battery in the Sauron where like we could do 2 laps on 1 battery. It's better to just, since we have a pit, that's the best thing to do, just swap the batteries. And it worked pretty well. Swapping the batteries worked really well, okay? At least I used both of them. And I'm charging this one right now. So I'm probably gonna pop the other one in and charge it. So yeah, how did this new suspension do? It was okay. It was kind of beating me up, man. The rocks there are just, it's rough, man. It beats the crap out of you, man. I need to do more squats and exercises and stuff because, man, I was beat. The bike is still beating me up, even with this new fork, so I don't know what to do. I turned the compression down all the way. What I did do is I added some air to the air spring. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have let some air out, actually. So I felt I just need to keep on making it softer and softer. So the thing about this, what we rode today, there wasn't any really big jumps or anything. There was some kind of big whoops and stuff that we could splat and stuff. I had no problems doing that. Like there was no real big jumps like Hollister Hills, So we didn't have to worry about the chain coming off or anything, and we didn't have to worry about bottoming out. I don't think I bottomed out at all. Maybe I bottomed out the front fork a couple times, but it's maybe because like I landed a weird way, type of thing. Okay, but yeah, so I don't know what to do next time. We got to see if we can find a 3rd battery. HadesOmega's kind of kicking himself in the ass for selling my Sauron battery. Maybe that's what I could do. I could buy another Sauron battery. They're pretty cheap. You can get them for under $1,000 used. So that's what I might do. And then we could do the bypass on it. It'll be like hella slow though, I tried to keep the batteries as warm as possible. I kept it in the vehicle. I don't think we had degraded range. The batteries worked great. All right, not like last time. But yeah, we got pretty much 20 miles of range. That's what I think. If we kept on riding it for 20 miles, it would have died around 20 miles. Those uphills were really gnarly, man. I'll tell you, they drained a lot of power, man. And I'm telling you, man, that was like that is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Race Virginia City Grand Prix, man. It was nuts. That steep hill that you go down, well, you can look to the other side. There's another steep hill where people are going down. And while I was going down there, I was watching people go down. I was like, this is nuts, man. These downhills are like, that's like a double black diamond type of thing, man. It is hard, man.
I need a break. Oh, there's the hill. There's the steep hill that we went down. So this is a steep hill this is the steep hill that we're looking at on the other side.
I felt bad for the guys on the adventure bikes, man. They had to go down that. And they did it, man. Well, hats off to them, man. I cannot believe they... hey, sorry, the battery ran out, so the picture looks a little different. Anyway, so I had problems with my camera also this time around. I think it's time to just buy another camera. Yeah, I gotta buy another camera to replace that one that's bad. So I had one that was good, it ran for pretty much 2 hours straight. That's about as long as the battery lasts, you know. Or I need to get some kind of camera that you can swap the batteries out, you know, just carry a bunch of batteries with me. But yeah, man, the second battery, it lasted only a little bit into the first lap, and I heard it beep at me, and then it just stopped working, and I had to reset it to get it to work again, and it still kind of didn't work. And then yeah, so I only got about two and a quarter lap, or yeah, 2.25 laps. All right, 2.25 laps. So let's say, so that's a bummer. Sorry guys, once again, you know, I wasn't able to get all the footage for you guys. It would have been great to get a video of me riding past that finish line, because you could tell I was so happy. I was so happy to cross that finish line and get that finisher pin, man. That's all that really mattered to me, man. So I'm pretty happy with the results, I guess. It was definitely an ordeal. To make it better next time, yeah, I would have 3 batteries. That would do the trick. But yeah, the bike performed pretty well. I didn't break anything. I didn't get hurt or anything. All right, I had a couple crashes and stuff, but I'm fine. I just got like a lot of sore muscles. I'm gonna be hurting a whole lot tomorrow, I'll tell you that, man. Yeah, I got like cramps in my calves. I got some arm pump. I couldn't grip the handlebars. My fingers wanted to stay like this the whole time. They did. When I tried to go like this, I'm like, oh, why do they hurt so much? So I think one of the things that I could have probably done is probably drink more water. But it's kind of tough because it's really cold and you can't keep on going pee. It's kind of annoying. Like last time I had to stop and take a pee. You know, it's tough, man. I guess it would be better to ride with the water pack, you know, and to just try to sip water while you're riding. But that's kind of tough too, you know. That's what I want to say. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Maybe I should have drank a Gatorade or on like the second lap or something. Take a longer rest, charge the battery a little longer, you know. That we could probably do that next time. To make sure to just chill out in the pits for like 20 minutes. Yeah, I know like Ted is getting a big lead on us, but at least we're gonna finish. But yeah, ideally we should have 3 batteries. But you know, if anybody is willing to loan me a battery, you know, please let me know for this race next year. I will go ahead and do it, and I'll give you some credit for the battery. I'll give you a shout out type of thing. Okay, yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention is thank you, Mother Nature, for cooperating this time. The weather was pretty good. It was chilly, but man, when you're riding out there, it feels good. It feels nice. Once you stop, you realize how cold it is. All right. But it would have been nice if it rained a little bit so we can get a little more traction. It is so hard to get traction here, and I don't want to air my tires down and, you know, ding my wheels up type of thing and get a flat tire. You know, I didn't get a flat tires at all. So okay, yeah, so that's a last comment right there. Yeah, the weather was perfect, dude. It was like 50 degrees the whole time, clear skies, cool breezes, and no rain. At least it wasn't rain. I don't mind a little bit of rain, but yeah, that's cool, dude. It would be nice to keep the dust down too. Right. Okay, yeah, so there you go. That was the 51st Virginia City Grand Prix, and I got a finisher pin this time around. HadesOmega has ridden in 2 Virginia City Grand Prix, so pretty awesome. All right, thanks for watching. Like I said, I apologize I couldn't get the whole thing on video, man. I gotta figure out what's wrong with my cameras. I always have a problem at this event with cameras. Okay, all right, thanks for watching. There it is. This is my treasure, guys. All right, do you know how much struggle HadesOmega had to go through to get this finisher pin? It's made it all worth it. Okay, guys. This is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Try to get one of these finisher pins. All right, they're not easy to get. Not a lot of people finish, guys. All right, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out. All right, hey, HadesOmega here. So I'm back home in my office, and just I want to add a quick note after one of the clips about what I said about the second camera. So I found out what was wrong with the second camera. I didn't delete the footage. I didn't delete my DoorDash footage from the memory card, and it ran out of memory. So so what had happened is I copied it over to my computer, and I copied it, I didn't move it, and then I forgot to delete it after. So usually I'll copy it first to make sure it copies fine, you know, and then just make sure the files look good, like all the previews work, and then I know the files are good, and then I delete it. But I forgot to delete it, so that's the reason. It wasn't the battery, all right, because I kind of, when I got stuck, I noticed it was still on. So yeah, I don't know, man. This is bad luck, man. HadesOmega. There's nothing wrong with the camera, dude. That's the dealie. HadesOmega made a dumb mistake, so, and that cost them the footage for the third lap, man. Yeah. Well, for what it's worth, the third lap went pretty smoothly, is what I'm gonna say. I was just hella tired, and yeah, I was riding hella slow. That was the thing about the third lap. So it would just be putting around on the trails as much as possible, trying to keep the battery from dying, and then me struggling. So yeah, so I didn't get that video last year of me like pushing the bike up the hill and the guy rescuing me with the YZ. Well, I didn't get the video of me struggling to push the bike up another hill, and then swapping the battery out in the field and then going back, man. Yeah, it would have really been nice to get that footage of me crossing the finish line, man. It was so awesome. So say it's so awesome to see the two checkered flags after you come in. You're just like, yes. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that was what happened to the camera, man. I made an honest mistake. I forgot to delete the footage in there. I gotta make it a habit to bring like some kind of laptop with me, so I can check to see what's on these memory cards before these events, man. Like, I had the same problem at the State Line Supermoto event. I didn't bring enough memory cards with me, and then I ran out of data. So if I had my laptop with me, I could have copied stuff to the laptop. So yeah, it's like, hey, HadesOmega don't use his laptop anymore, man. This is the thing. Okay, yeah. So that was the problem with the camera. I figured it out, because I thought it was kind of odd that like it just kind of just stopped recording all of a sudden, and then I tried to turn it off and turn it back on, and it wouldn't work. So that was the problem. It ran out of memory. Yeah. So that was the problem. User error. It's the problem. User error, right? HadesOmega forgot to delete that footage from the memory card, but at least we were able to get a little more than 2 laps. So one of the improves is, HadesOmega, you need to make sure you need to check the data on your cameras before the race. All right. Make sure you have nothing on the memory card. I you know what, I always do that, but I think I have to make it a habit to bring a laptop with me. Okay, I will bring my little laptop so I could check the data every night. I always tell myself not to, but I think that's just something I'm gonna have to bring from now on. I'm gonna have to bring a little laptop so I can check what's on the cards and stuff, because I can't do that while it's inside the camera. The cameras can't do it. Okay. Yeah, so that's that. So I'm sorry I could not get very much of the third lap, guys. And then the drama at the end, you know. And if it's one thing that I think would make good YouTube footage, is HadesOmega struggling to get that bike back to Virginia City, man. That's the big struggle right there. I'm telling you, man. Struggling. I struggled to push that bike up the hill, and then I had to wait for them to bring the battery, and then I had to milk it on the way back home to the town. And so I say, yeah, man, the third lap did not go so well, is all I say. All right. Okay, HadesOmega wanted to make a note about, like, yeah, man, like, I was so tired out there, like the second lap, like all my muscles were like cramping up, and I was tired. And you know, I just thought Virginia City is at like 6,000 foot elevation, all right? HadesOmega lives like at sea level, so there's plenty of oxygen where HadesOmega lives. So where I race here, you know, like I raced the Hollister Hills Hare Scrabble a few weeks ago, and I felt like I was in great shape for that race. I mean, that race is probably like is half as much as the race that I just did, the Virginia City Grand Prix, but like it's at sea level, you can breathe a lot better. All right, at 6,000 feet elevation, there's not as much oxygen as there is at sea level. The bike doesn't care, but my body cares. So say, just walking up and down or walking up the streets at Virginia City, I'll be huffing and puffing already. Yeah, I was already tired, you know. So that elevation will kick your ass, big time. So just if you're gonna race the Virginia City Grand Prix, just remember that. And if you're riding a gas bike, make sure it's jetted properly. the electric bike doesn't care about that though. So that's a good advantage for the electric bike. So yeah, so that's kind of my excuse for being like super duper tired or not feeling in shape, is there's not enough oxygen in the air because of the altitude. Okay, that's why my muscles are cramping up like that. I wasn't getting enough oxygen to my muscles. But you know, around the second lap, I was like so tired. I just kind of told myself, just relax, take it easy, man. Just breathe slowly and just don't try not to grip the handlebars too tight, you know. And it helped. It helped. I managed to ride that last couple. If you notice, like on the second lap video, I kind of got quiet for like a good chunk of the video. You know, I didn't talk so much because yeah, I was kind of focusing on like trying to control my breathing and everything. So that helped a lot. Just to try to keep calm and everything. And plus like it was the second lap, and you know, I know what's up. It's always like that. The first lap is always chaos, and then the second lap is like, yeah, you already know what's going on, you know, so just do it again. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's the altitude is one of the killer things, man. At 6,000 feet elevation, dude. It'll have you huffing and puffing if you're not acclimated to it. So that's another good reason to get there a few days before the race, so you can kind of get acclimated to the altitude. I know like probably 3 days is probably not very good, but it helps. It helps to just show up and at the altitude and just race, you know. Yeah, 6,000 feet is quite a bit. All right, so HadesOmega has another comment for the AAR. I had quite a bit of crashes in the first lap. And lately I haven't been crashing at all. Right? Yeah, I've been pretty good about not crashing the bike. Okay, but yeah, I had about like 5 crashes today. Pretty much all in the first lap. And so one thing I noticed is that like when I try to I have to fix the handlebars, like I have to straighten them, and I always forget to turn the bike off. All right, so if I grip the throttle and I'm trying to twist the handlebars, the bike just like takes off. All right, or I've had a couple times where like, yeah, I'll try to pick the bike up and I'll twist the throttle and the bike will just go crazy, like all over the place. So I have to remember, so one improvement could be HadesOmega, if you dump the bike, turn it off before you pick it up. So I have to remember to do that. But like I said, I haven't been crashing the bike lately, so yeah, that's something I have to remember. Okay, that should be like a proper procedure and stuff. Yeah, I think like the caulk has like a lanyard or something, so if you get if it's lanyard's on your wrist or something, if you get separated from the bike, it kills it right away, so it doesn't take off like that. Yeah, so another dangerous situation for the Suron would be is if you crashed and then the throttle got pinned open. All right, like the handguard got bent or the throttle tube got stuck, you know, that kind of thing. It could just keep on going, and yeah, so my Suron doesn't have any kind of safeties on it, so that could happen on my bike. Okay, so yeah, you just have to remember to turn the bike off before you pick it up, or yeah, before you touch it, turn the bike off, because it'll just take off. All right, I had that happen to me like a handful, like a couple times. I don't know about a handful, but a couple of times that happened to me today. And it sucks, like the bike just goes crazy and the rear tire just spins all over the place.
So you got to remember to turn the bike off before you pick it up. All right, unless you have the safeties and all that stuff, but I don't recommend having the safeties on that bike. It's a good way to leave you stranded, is what I'm going to say. Okay, so that's an improvement. Turn the bike off if you crash. All right, but don't try not to crash as much as possible. and another thing is I noticed is that's the first time I did crash with the new Dorado forks. And like, yeah, you can just bend the handlebar back. I was worried, like, yeah, they might flex or something, and it was fine. What I did was I put the wheel between my thighs, and then I twisted the handlebar. And I made sure, and I told myself, like, yeah, I didn't turn it off, but I grabbed the I grabbed the hand guards to ding it, all right? Because I tried to I gripped the throttle before, and it took off, so I was like, ah, oh, damn it. Yeah, so there you go. Turn the bike off before you pick it up or do any kind of work on the handlebars. All right, guys. I just checked the Virginia City Grand Prix website, and the results are up. So let's go check them out. All right. So I am surprised how fast they got these results up. Yeah. But here it is. This is the electric class for 2022 Virginia City Grand Prix. All right. So there was 4 of us, all right, and yeah, you can see all the results right there, but I'll kind of go over it piece by piece, all right. So we didn't have as many riders as last year. We had a total of 4 riders, all right. There was Ted on the Cape Calc, all right. There's Douglas Newshart on the Honda, all right. It was a converted Honda, and then there's me on the Soron, and then there's Alexandra Lobb, all right. I hope I'm saying her name right. She was riding the Soron. Wow, she got a lap in, but I don't know, whatever reason it says 4 here. Oh, because she's 4th place. Okay, yeah, so these are what place you are, like, after a certain lap. So Ted is a freaking beast, man. Actually, we were right behind, yeah, we were just right behind Ted. We were right behind Ted after the first lap, alright guys? So this is me and Ted racing right here. We're pretty damn close. And Douglas is pretty close too. He came in at 1 minute, he came in 3 minutes after us. So I came in a minute after Ted, and then Douglas came 3 minutes after me. He was in 3rd place. Alright, and then the second lap, Ted is still in 1st place. He's still beast mode. 1 hour 58 minutes. So yeah, these laps were about an hour, and that sounds about right. I think when I checked my GPS, it was a little bit under an hour, but I guess I don't know. And then so here's my second time. Was 2 hours and 6 minutes for the second lap. So we came in 6 minutes after Ted on the second lap. And mind you, that's when my battery had like the most power. That's why I said, like, hey, you can rip it if you want. I think that's when I was the most tired, though, the second lap. All right, but anyway, yeah, Ted comes in first after just under 2 hours, and then I come in second, 2 hours, and then Douglas comes in at 2 hours 17 minutes. So I had I had a good 10 minutes on. So Ted had 6 minutes on me, and I had 10 minutes on Doug, all right? So I was second up until the 3rd lap, guys. Obviously, because HadesOmega had so many problems on the 3rd lap with the battery, all right? So Ted, he did another lap, another hour, so he got a little bit slower, just like 4 minutes slower on the 3rd lap, all right? But he still came in first, all right? Ted is still king of the electrics. All right, king of the electrics in the Virginia City Grand Prix. All right, and so Douglas came in second. So yeah, he came in second with 4 hours and 8 minutes. He had some kind of problem on the second lap, but I think I did see him. I was ahead of Douglas, and then like when I got stuck, I saw him ride by. So, and I think that was it. You know, when my battery ran out, he just rode past me, and he took my second place. So I say, just like that. Okay, and then I came in 4 hours and 41 minutes, a whole almost 2 hours after Ted came in for the third lap. So having that problem with the battery, it cost me a lot. All right, it cost me, but I finished the race. All right, at least I was able to finish the race with in third place. So I think I might get a trophy for that, you know. And then so let's take a look at Alexandra here. All right, 901. She was riding the Suron, and it says she got a DNF. She didn't even finish. Okay. I don't even think she got a lap in. I'm not sure. Maybe she did. It says here 1 hour and 5 minutes, so that would mean she came in before Douglas. Yeah, she got 1 lap in. I don't know what happened to her bike. I think on the third lap, I saw her bike like sitting somewhere on the street, like, and they said it didn't work. So I don't know what the deal is. Hopefully they'll see this video and they'll chime in to what happened. I mean, Alexandra will chime in. Okay, but yeah, congratulations, Alexandra. You're the first female Virginia City Grand Prix racer in the electric class. Okay, good job. You've done what many women have not done. It's racing the electric bike at the Virginia City Grand Prix. All right, but she did get 1 lap in, and she came in after Douglas too, so she did pretty good on the first lap. I'm surprised. I did not see her out there once. Okay, guys. She was like in the back somewhere. All right. I don't know what lap she had problems with, but obviously she didn't get the second or third lap in, so something happened to her bike. I'm not sure. I didn't ask what was wrong with it. They just said it didn't work. Okay. And I think that's it. Cumulative times, lap. Oh, these are okay. So these are the lap times right here. So Ted, yeah, let's go through everybody's lap time. So Ted, 1 hour, 57 minutes. So his fastest lap time was the second lap. All right, and then third lap was just kind of his longest. Ted is, I don't know, from what I saw out there, Ted is pretty fast. He's a fast dude, but like, yeah, he had problems too. And I would pass him like a whole bunch of times. And that's just how it was between all 3 of us. That's basically what happened, man. Okay, then Douglas came in 104, 112, and 151. So he had some problems on the second lap. His second lap was like almost, I mean, the third lap was almost double his regular lap time. All right, so I came in 1 hour and 1 minute. Look at that, right behind Ted, right behind him. Yeah, I don't think I saw him. I didn't see him in the pits, or I didn't see him cross the finish line. So yeah, and then the second lap, HadesOmega was slower by 8 minutes from Ted. So there you go. All right, and then Douglas was trailing behind me 7 minutes. All right, so he's quite a ways behind me. And then yeah, he had his worst was like the third lap. And then me, my third lap was 2 hours and 34 minutes, man. Oh, freaking nuts, man. So I hate to say it, man. We probably could have. Our time would have probably been very similar to this. But I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have finished. We wouldn't have beat Ted. If I had 3 batteries, I could beat Ted. All right, maybe I would have a better chance at beating Ted. All right. Okay, that's the lap times. The times behind the leader. See, I was a minute behind him on the first lap. And then I was 8 minutes, and then I was 2 hours behind him, Ted. Yeah, so it's actually pretty close race. All 3 of us were racing. Yeah, we were racing, guys. I have to tell you, that's what you call a race. We were minutes within each other, and that's like for a Grand Prix. I think that's that's pretty close, Yeah, it's not like a MotoGP race or something, Time behind next place. Summary. What's this? Okay, so yeah, this is where everybody was from. They're just all locals, guys. Yeah, so It says Ted is from Fernley, Douglas is from Reno, I'm from San Jose, and Alexander was from Reno. Okay, sounds about right. Nobody got any penalties or anything. And yeah, and then this is the whole, oh, this is all the results. But yeah, so Ted came in first, Douglas second, and me third on a nothing. A Soron Light B. Alright, HadesOmega here, and I just wanted to make another quick clip comparison from last year's race to this year's race. Alright, so I can do that with this Moto Tally system. It's pretty cool. So here, so this is just this year's race. So every lap was about an hour. Alright, everybody was doing about an hour. Alright, me was doing about an hour, Douglas was doing about an hour, and Ted was doing about an hour laps. Okay, Ted's got the fastest lap, by the way, at 57 minutes on his second lap. And guess what? Oh, I was ahead. He's almost got the second fastest lap, but Ted still beat us by like a minute. almost. Anyway, yeah, my first lap was the best lap. What the? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I was super tired on the second lap or something. Anyway, so yeah, 1 hour. All right, about 1 hour average lap time. So just to prove a point that last year's race was shorter and easier. The course was shorter and easier, is what I'm going to say. Because of the condition, it was harder. If I click on my name here, I can go take a look at last year's race. All right, the electric race, and I was doing 57 minutes. All right, I did 57 minutes, but it's because I had a hard time. I had like a lot of trouble on that first lap. All right, my fender got locked up and all this crazy stuff happened. But if you look at Ted's times, Ted was doing 30-minute laps. All right, roughly 31, 33, 32. Douglas got 40 minutes for his first lap, and then something must have happened to him on the second lap. I think he told me like he ran out of power or something. Yeah, and then these guys got 30 minutes on the Soron, but I don't know what's up with these. I don't think those times are legit because they didn't beat Ted. So yeah, Ted was getting about 30-minute average times, and Douglas got 39. So let's say like the average time was probably like 35 minutes. All right, so that just proves the point that last year's race was a lot shorter. All right, I don't remember how many miles it was, but I think it was like 12 miles, 12 or 10 miles. It wasn't as much as what we rode this time. I remember we were out there, and I was like, man, seems like we've been out here for a while riding. and it's true, like the course was much longer in 2020. The course was much longer in 2022 than it was in 2021. So I think had we raced the same exact course in 2022, my plan would have worked, but with charging the battery, but it didn't work because we had to race a longer course. So the good thing is it was like 16 miles. I think when you register, it says the red loop is anywhere from like 8 to 15 miles. All right, so it was like 16 miles. It was almost 16 miles. It was like 15.8 miles. It was just shy of 16 miles. So let's say, all right. So yeah, it was like pretty much. It was more than they guesstimated. All right. So according to my GPS, don't lie. Okay, I consistently got like about 15.8 miles every lap. Okay. So yeah, that just goes to show, you know, the comparison between 2022 and 2021 Virginia City Grand Prix red loops were like much different. Like the red loop in 2021 was much shorter than the one. Well, it was a couple miles shorter, and that makes a big difference on an electric bike. Okay, compared to the 2022 course. All right, and I felt overall the course was harder in 2022. Yeah, 2022, the course was harder than it was in 2021, I'll tell you that. Okay, so yeah, that was just a quick comparison between 21 and 22, all right? The 50 versus the 51st Virginia City Grand Prix. Okay, yeah, so there are the results for Virginia City Grand Prix 2022, the electric class. All right, HadesOmega came in third. All right, I could have got second, but Douglas passed me on that last lap. I have to say, I think everyone improved from last year. I don't know. Ted is Ted. He's fast, man. But me and Douglas, we improved a lot. All right, I think Douglas got a lap in last year, and I barely got 2 laps. And we were all able to finish the race, so that was great. So it just goes to show you we're improving, all right. And yeah, so I think the only thing I could do to really, you know, to guarantee that I can really race Ted on like equal footing is to have 3 batteries. You know, it's just no fun having to conserve the power. You know, I think if you had a battery for every lap, that would do the trick. Okay, the generator trick, it didn't work. It would have worked last year. I'm not gonna lie, it would have worked last year because the course was shorter last year, but you can't do that, you know, normally. They were saying, yeah, I think around 15 miles is like the maximum for the red loop. This was like 16 miles this year. It was long. It was a lot longer. That's pretty much almost my full range, like I mentioned earlier. So it wasn't definitely the course's length wasn't in our favor. And I tried as much as possible to save power, you know. I just told myself, like, yeah, you know, I wish I could ride a little faster, but I can't. I think that like I said, about the first and second lap, I was kind of on it, you know, and then the third lap, it was just like, yeah, you better hypermile that sucker. So I say, you may not make it back, man. So, and sure enough, I didn't. So, and I had to have the other battery taken out to me. So that kind of sucked. But I guess I got lucky. I was in the area where one of the course workers were, and they helped me out and get back to thing, and I made it back, you know, under my own power. So that's why you deserve the finisher pin this time, HadesOmega. All right, yeah, mission accomplished. Okay, thanks for watching. That is HadesOmega's Virginia City 2022 results. All right. It's kind of a shame what happened to Alexandra. I hope she comes back next year, all right, with her husband or boyfriend. He had a Suron also. I thought he would be racing, but he wasn't. He's going to be modifying his Suron is what he's saying. So look forward to have a modified Suron race next year. I have to say, you know, the bike did pretty good, except for the rocks. The rocks are just slippery, but everyone was having problem on the rocks, man. I'm not going to lie. People were getting kicked over all over the place. I was watching other riders, and yeah, they were just slipping and sliding all over the place. The traction was so bad. It was so bad, you know. That's what I want to say. I'm gonna have to figure out how to dial in the suspension for rocks or something, man. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for everybody. I was watching everybody struggle along with me. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, I hope she comes back and races next year. Okay. And yeah, so I can only imagine how hard it would have been with the stock Suron tires, and the stock Suron suspension. Yeah, that would have been a tough race for a stock Suron. Like last year's course was not as difficult as this course. I'll tell you that, man. This course was tough, man, and I think on a stock Suron it would be even tougher, you know, especially those steep downhills. You would be riding those brakes like all the time, you know, because the regen is not very strong. It's not very strong on a stock Suron, you know. I had to use like the full regen and the full front brake, you know, or walk it down the hill type of thing, you know. But it was just so steep. Yeah, HadesOmega's not a big fan of going down steep hills. Going down steep hills is more difficult than going up steep hills. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. All right, the only problem with going, yeah, I mean it's the same thing going up and down. If you stop, you make it harder. All right, you got to keep it going because the bike wants momentum. If the bike ain't moving, it don't want to stay up. Okay, that's the gist of it. All right, so yeah, that's what make this this course challenging was those uphills. All right, and some of No. So those downhills, the downhills were tough. They were tough for me, all right, and they looked like it was tough for everybody else. The uphills too, the kind of rocky uphills where you have to kind of pick your way through it and stuff. Yeah, those were tough too. But I saw a lot of people have problems there too. Like, yeah, it was carnage. All I can say is, hey, if you got a finisher pin for that race, you're already a winner. You've already accomplished something amazing. That's what I say. That was a tough race, man. And the red loop, it wasn't really much different than the black loop. That's what I say. I kind of wanted to see what the black loop is just, I think it's like 4 miles longer. So yeah, you'll be out there longer. So, but yeah. Okay, well there you go. So that's the end of HadesOmega's Virginia City Grand Prix AAR. Okay, and the results. All right.